Am I a vegan? Or maybe a vegetarian? Hello and welcome to Input English. This episode, I posed the question, am I a vegan? Or perhaps I'm a vegetarian? Or perhaps neither? So when I was growing up, from childhood, I never met a vegetarian. I knew none. I never met a vegan, and in fact, I didn't learn the word vegan until I was in college. It never occurred to me that people didn't eat meat. It was a very foreign concept. Vegan. Never heard of it. So now it's fairly common. If someone is a vegetarian, they don't eat meat. Okay. So a vegetarian might not eat meat, but perhaps they would drink milk. Sure. Or maybe they eat eggs, chicken eggs. Sure. That's an eating plan described as vegetarian, and the specific term for that eating plan is ovo-lacto-vegetarian. Okay. So we've got some terms defined. Basically, if you say vegetarian, you say, I'm not eating meat, okay? Some people don't understand that. I was at someone's house and we discussed food preferences, and I said, we're vegetarian. It was a short way of explaining our preference to not eat meat. And the hostess said, great, we're having chicken. Really? Chicken is meat? No. But it really happened. It was funny, and I didn't get fussy. Okay, so if you're a vegetarian, you don't eat meat, and you might eat eggs, poultry. There's a variation on that where the so-called vegetarian does eat fish. Well, fish is meat, but they're making a special category for themselves, and so they're eating eggs and dairy and fish, and the term is pescatarian. People talk about it, so it's a term of art. Pescatarian. They're just telling you that they don't eat meat from land animals, and presumably they don't eat whales. But they eat fish. Okay, great. So what about a vegan? Well, a vegan doesn't eat animal products. Now, people can embrace this vegan lifestyle, this eating plan of veganism for a variety of reasons. It could be religious, it could be, personal ethos. It could be just preference. So when you say vegan, no animal products. So theoretically, a vegan might not wear leather shoes, because that's an animal product. You could say, no, we're talking about food. Oh, okay. So a vegan doesn't eat animal products. So no meat, no eggs, no dairy, no fish, no honey. Well, it's an animal product, but it's made by the animal. So I think honey in vegan world is kind of a gray area. Okay. Now, all these terms that we have been reviewing really address what you don't eat. And I would prefer to come at it from a different direction. I would prefer to define what I do eat, not what I don't eat. What do I eat? So in another video, I pointed out that I did a great deal of reading during the pandemic. And so I got a lot of input from books and seminars and lectures. I learned a great deal about lifestyle choices that we make and how that impacts our overall health long term. What I learned during that course of study that I undertook during the pandemic amazed me. Heart disease in underdeveloped countries is uncommon. Now, a hippopotamus bite might be more common, or a tropical disease, yeah, more common. Starvation might be more common. Infections, wild animal attacks. There are a lot of things that happen in some countries that have not adopted the standard Western diet. But in those countries that have not adopted the standard Western diet, chronic diseases that are common here in the United States are actually uncommon. Appendicitis, diverticulitis, colon cancer, heart disease, diabetes, obesity, so high blood pressure, and the list goes on and on. So a lot of healthcare in the United States and in developed countries is directed at undoing the effects of the lifestyle that these societies have adopted willingly. You now know why I am interested in what I do eat. Because what we eat is input, is it not? It's not input here, it's input here. And what we put in here matters. So, during the pandemic, based on all this reading, I adopted a whole food, plant-based eating plan. Is that vegan? No. Is it vegetarian? No, not really. Well, what is it? Well, what it means, whole food. 2 words, whole food. I'm avoiding processed foods. One of the problems we have in developed countries is foods come out of factories rather than farms. Why? Follow the money. If you're selling potatoes, they're a commodity. There's not a lot of margin. It's not so easy for corporations to make huge amounts of profit. But if you can send that crop of potatoes through a factory and turn them into potato chips, maybe with barbecue sauce and a lot of salt and some oils to make them richer, then you can mark that up. And the profit's there. The profit is in the processed foods. So if you go into grocery stores all over the United States and all over the world, really, a lot of processed food. So whole food, I have stepped away from processed food. Does that mean I never eat potato chips? No. It means I usually don't eat potato chips. Do I never eat ice cream? That's processed food, right? No, it doesn't mean that. What it means is I rarely eat ice cream. So whole food, we're stepping away from processed food, and we want things similar to the way they came from the farm. Minimal processing or no processing. Or maybe processing that we do in our own kitchen. For instance, every day I have flax seeds. They need to be ground up. So as I buy bulk flax seeds, they're unprocessed. They're whole food. But if you eat flax seeds, they just go straight through you. They don't get digested because the outer coating of the seed is so durable that our digestive process cannot break it down. So you have to mechanically break those seeds up to get the nutrients out of them. And so I do my own processing with a spice mill, grind up the seeds, and then that's the food. So it's minimally processed food, and I do it in the house. Whole food, plant-based. Now, doesn't plant-based mean vegetarian? No. What it means for most of us is that we strive to get 95% of our nutrients from plant sources. We minimize animal content, animal foods, animal products. And that really states the case. Whole food, plant-based is someone who avoids processed food and someone who avoids animal products. What are some of the benefits of whole food, plant-based? Well, one thing can be the cost, because processed food is actually fairly expensive. It's convenient, but it's expensive. Two, a whole food plant-based eating plan is not calorie dense. There are not that many calories per meal eating this way. There's a lot of fiber, and fiber is important to human health. We're going to talk about that in another video. Phytonutrients. Man, that's a word. Phytonutrients. Well, phyto just means of or pertaining to plants. And nutrients, we know what nutrients are. Those are the things we get from food that help us, that we need from the food. Antioxidants are phytonutrients. These are chemicals in the food that help us fight oxidative stress. They help us stay healthy in the face of injury or disease. In the food supply, the antioxidants are color-coded. They're found in fruits and vegetables. They're not found in meat. And they are the pigments. So if you go to a farmer's market or grocery and you see fruits and vegetables that have intense color, then you are looking at the plant source of these antioxidants. The standard Western diet experts will tell you people don't get enough fiber and they don't get enough antioxidants. Does this mean I can never have a hamburger or a piece of pizza? No, I can eat anything I want, but I tend not to. This isn't tyranny, this is making choices. So that's it for this episode. I invite comments below in the comments section, and I hope to see you in future videos. All the best. Bye.